Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Monday, October the 14th. I want to start with the S&P because the Australian market is kind of in sync with it a little bit. So what we're looking for is, this is the low here, not to worry about this wave 1 and wave 2 here for a moment, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we need wave 4 and then we need wave 5. So we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. Once we have those 5 waves in, anything above that 5 wave structure, then we can turn bullish at that point. Now in the US there are stocks and sectors that are moving to the upside that are quite bullish. Goldman Sachs on the banking side is very bullish. Some of the sectors that are slowing the market down, as expected, would be the discretionaries. Industry is moving very high. So there are some very bullish sectors out there. But as far as the indices are concerned, we need to move past this A wave, B wave, and C wave here. So we need those 5 waves here. Now we had a little sharp move up through here, which is a little bit tricky to count how we count this, but you can see that wave 1 and 2 has got definition to it. We don't really see a wave 4 here. I could jam wave 4 in under this low here and do a few things, but at the same time it doesn't really matter. I just think that a bit of patience here is the medicine, because even when we do have the 5 waves up here, we're going to get an ABC back. We'll either keep coming down at that point or we'll continue to move up at that point. So we need to get past this A, B wave here and a C wave here, and then we'll be pushing up at that point. So this is really the same for the Australian markets and most other markets as well. So we need to get past that. We need to wait for wave 4, wave 5, and then the ABC pattern here, and then we can go long above the top. So that's how it's playing out with the Australian market as well. So the last 5 waves we got here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we should see on with 1, 2, it's probably 3. So yeah, look, we'll be very close to having that wave 3 in there. There's probably another little move here. Looking at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. That little 1 and 2 is probably 3, 4, 5 to here. So then there'll be, depends on where you want to take the previous wave 4 from here and move up. So we still need this wave 4. It can move higher to start with, but we'll see a wave 4 across the 72. And the 72 is really important. Remember, that's the old COVID high, pretty much on the nose as well. So yeah, to see it fluctuate around here for a little bit would be about right. Obviously I can turn all of this to a bullish move, but I want to turn the bullish move to a bullish move once we get past this high over here for that, so that's really sort of where we are. So in terms of trading, you can continue to the upside. This has been the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. It can come back to that 71.20 area there to test that at some point, but the 73 would be the target to the upside. But at the 72 you can expect a bit of fluffing around here, and that's where this wave 4 is likely to play out. Yeah, so that's how it's looking at this stage. That's where it is. So we can kind of think of the banks in this, and most other markets in pretty much the same way. So all the same but different, but we're expecting a top mid-week. So Monday to follow through with Tuesday to follow through. And then Wednesday, Thursday starting to get those swing days in the market. So that's where we are for those. So with the banks here, we're looking at wave 4 here last time. So yeah, probably push up into wave 5 here, but need to be a little bit mindful. I haven't pulled this apart here just yet, but yeah, good volume on the Friday, so that should follow through. But let's go in and have a look at the banks for a second. Let me just get that sorted out, and we want to get that other charting program because it's just a little bit quicker. So these are the yields here. So we've just been looking for wave 4 to come in, the same with the US yields. So those CPI figures have given Fed a little window to maybe move it up 50 basis points rather than 75 basis points. I think we're on the 6th of December before the RBA meet. But I wouldn't bank on that because we still need wave 5 to go up. So they're assuming that they'll drop at 50 basis points, but there's no real drop, no trend in inflation trending down at this point. So I think that wave 4 will come in and do its job, and then wave 5 will continue to move up as such in the bigger picture with everything. So that's where that is. But let's just go over to the banks for a second. Where are we with the banks? Bank of Queensland, so that was a little bit of a tricky one here to put. We'll just put wave 4 here and wave 5 to go to the upside, because that will kind of be in line with the ASX at that point, won't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, we're looking for that wave 5 to move to the upside. This wave 1 was done in about 3 days, so this probably take a little bit longer depending on how you want to count that in here, but we'll look at it like that for the time being. The NAB, it's not really displaying an impulsive wave to the downside, but certainly got sold off. So basically the banks are softer and the resources are stronger, and the resources will be stronger for a little longer as well. Not much longer, but a bit longer, and we'll look at that when we get to the resources. So we can expect them to do that. But Bendigo here, 1, 2, 3, 4 is good. This 5th wave is just not that sort of clear. Not sure what I said here, but basically looking for support on the 9,000 is the next step. So obviously we talked about going long here, so you may have a position here. This looks corrective at this point, so we should continue to, based on those 5 waves off the low, as I mentioned before, based off these, probably an A and a B and a C here, based on these lows, we should be heading higher here for this. That's what we should be doing. So we will probably turn the ASX into a positive market. It's a little bit hard to think of markets around the world going into a big bull market at this point, isn't it? But it kind of looks like what's sort of happening when I have a look at Goldman Sachs and the banking sector. WBC here. So this is kind of interesting because, as I mentioned before, we can look at this as an A and a B and a C here, but as a C wave it's quite strong, so we'll probably have to look at as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, I think. But look, anyway, if this continues to move higher, then it's going to fluff around the 25 here for a little while. I'll just have a look at the banking sector. We've been keeping an eye on that in 2 different ways. Probably have to look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another little move to the upside. Can I get any clarity on this financial instrument here? Just messy in here, but definitely looks like it wants to push up. But even if we go with the ASX, you know what I mean, and we do get a push up here for this, it wouldn't last that long, because this, these he has only been like 3 days, Even if we looked at all of that as the 3rd wave and the 4th wave, so this one here would last, well, that's 1 and 2 in here, so the 3rd, so it'll be 4, so maybe another 3, 4, 5 days maybe till the top in there to finish us off. Okay, so the banks can creep a little bit higher. So over to the resources, and in a nutshell, they're kind of doing all the same thing in a way. So and that is that they're moving up off the lows in 5 waves. That includes gold as well, and iron ore. Copper and that are a little bit different on that scale. So we've been looking at 5 waves in this little move here. Let's just go into the 100 ticks and have a little bit of a look at that. Get some more data in here. or was it 1000 ticks? Okay, so what have I done here? I've got 1 and 2. Doesn't look that promising at that point, does it? But maybe I need to cut that to there. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're looking for a 5th wave up here. It's not the best looking count there, I have to say. Doesn't feel quite right. But just all the same, that's 3. That's 1, 2, 3. That's third here. 1, 2, third, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, a little bit more to the upside, so I'll just allow that to finish off there. That will bring us into BHP. So let me just have a look at the ADR for that. It's really moved up quite strong, doesn't it? Very bullish at that point, sort of beyond the 5 wave thing that we're looking at, really. Yes and no. I mean, it's just strong, isn't it? So 1 and 2 here, right? 1 and 2 off that 5 wave low here. Yep. 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You can debate about what top is what and so on, but basically we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then we've got the 5th wave here, which we're getting a bit of an extension in, and the 5th wave here could play out as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but very close to a top. Here, so we'll push up to 60. I mean, of course, we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then a 3rd wave pulling in here because it is quite strong here. But I still have to go on that first 5 wave structure there. So that will be the same for BHP as well here. We've been looking at 5 waves up here. I'll just clean this up a little bit. So we can see here that we've got 1 and 2 here, and probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me just have a little look in here as well on 20 ticks and just bring in a bit more data here. So we're looking just at this here. So definitely 1 and 2 here. It looks like 3 and 4 to here, and 5, which still needs to go up here further. But that's what we're waiting for, basically. We're just waiting for this here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to come to here somewhere. And then anything above that, we can go long at that point. You know, we can look at this as, I mean, if we'd made a low here, then I could use, you know, as wave 5, but I just haven't made a low here. So that sort of, you know, it sort of makes it a bit difficult. But, you know, if it was a low, we could look at it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and a 3rd wave moving up off here for this, you know. But I just wanted to get these 5 waves in here, but I don't want, you know, I don't want to see this, you know, this push up too far up here either, you know, without us being on it, you know. That's the other side of the coin here, looking at this as 1 here, an A and a B and a C back for 2. Kind of makes it sort of, but how do we get 5 waves out of this though? Out of here, is that it there, is it? One A wave, A, B, C for the B wave, up for the C wave. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Doesn't even come lower here though. That's the other problem. I would like to go long, but I mean, that's the, you know, it is a trade setup at that point, going long above that top there, you know. And I'm afraid that might just grab a, you know, move away on us at that point. I'll leave it up to you to decide what to do at that point. This is the metals and mining sector in the US. I mean, it's kind of the same as well. I mean, we could look at this as the A, the B, and the C here and bring this wave 2 in back over here. But I just thought it needed to come down a bit deeper, you know. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. 50%, yeah. Just felt like it needed to come down, you know, here in terms of, you know, A wave and A, B, C for the B wave, and then come down for the C wave here. That's kind of how I, you know, because even FMG didn't come down to do its thing, you know. I know we're bullish in the bigger picture. I don't have a problem with that, but, you know, I can count that as 5 waves here. That is 3 waves and 5. So an A and a B and a C, or 1 and 2, and, you know, that's why I wanted to wait for these 5 waves to finish. I think I'll just sort of wait a little bit on this, you know. Just need to let it play out, I think. Otherwise we get trapped, you know. I mean, it's at the $50 here, so I never expect it to go too far, you know, at a major level here as such. It's not like we got support here just yet, is it? And it's quite common for the market to push up and then come back and check it. So I think we'll wait. And because this is the same, it's all the same here. So go long if you want, but yeah. I'm just putting this A wave here. Just going to put that there for a moment. That will just keep me a little bit stable. Okay, it'll be the same for the other guys as well. The FMG, we're looking for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here. So I'm just going to wait on that. And I can see that, you know, we should be going long, and it will push up higher. Technically, we could look at this from taking from this low here, so that can bring us up to there. So that wave 4 can sit up there on that. Okay. And Rio, I mean, really sort of looking, you know, there's our 5 waves that we've been looking for, 1, 2, 3, 4 in here, and 5. It'll push up further, but hopefully it should push back onto this and come back. That's what we're looking for. So I'll just wait, but go long if you want, but I just don't have that set up there. I was waiting for 5 waves, and I can see that it's going to push up a bit higher, but let's see if it pushes back at that point. Over to the lithium here. So lithium has moved up from the top here to the bottom here. It's moved up into the 61.8%. So it looks like we got sort of a bit of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe some sort of wave 4 in here for this, and 5. So it has given us 5 waves, which we can view as an A and a B and a C wave up here. But anyway, at the 75, this is where this LIT here, LIT ETF, is going to sit. But based on that, let's just go in. That's not what I wanted. Wanted to have a look at, where are we, over this one? So, actually, I just want to have a look at copper, actually, just for a moment. Copper stocks. So this is the favorite here. This is a daily chart. So this is really cranking. This is where BHP will be coming from as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit dog leg in here. I don't know what to make of that. I mean, that could be an A and a B and a C wave here, but what's this here, you know? But that certainly looks like 1, 2, 3 up here for that. So that's really sort of powering along. Okay, and I'll just go back. Just want to go back and have a look at the ASX lithium stocks. So we start with we've been looking at US one, so SQM. So on the daily one here, so that's up. So that's that should just keep on going. So that's 1 and 2 here and 3. So that will just be you know, 1, 2 be coming into the top here is always like wave 3. There'll be a struggle here of wave 4, and then there'll be wave 5 here, and then there'll be some sort of ABC back at that point. Just as long as you're aware of that, that's the main thing, you know, sort of how you're moving into these things. ALB, yeah, that's also 1, 2 here in the third wave, so it should pull back here. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it should pull back here shortly. LAC here, yeah, I mean, it can be an A and a B and a C up here for this, but looks like we've got, you know, it's a bit of an odd thing this here. It looks like a WXY here for this, but yeah, once it sits on 30, it's another place to add to. PLL, so that's made a little push up there now, so that's good. It should just do its own thing. You know, it's a little bit rough and ready, but in its own way, we've got this here as, if I can just label these here as 1 and 2 in here, and 3, 4, 5 up here, be something like that, you know. So as I mentioned before, I kind of, you know, it's not the sexiest looking, fastest car on the market, but it should plot along. ACDC here. So this is, I didn't realize this, this is actually an ETF with Global X in it as well. So I didn't realize it was an ETF, but yeah, so yeah, this is, we can look at this as 1 and 2 in here, and obviously a nice third wave continuing in here. So should just continue in its own way up to 100. I mean, big numbers like this become magnets, especially when you get 93 here, once the market has, you know, found 93 as the support. And then you got 98 up here. When you talk about 98, you talk about 96, the group 2, so 96.50 and 97.20, they'll be in here. But yeah, it should just continue to cruise along quite nicely. CXO here, that's going good. So we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and we've got that 5 wave structure here now, so that will just continue. LTR here, as we talked about on Friday, just continuing along nicely. PLS here, I don't know if it's going to pull back or just continue to mosey on up from here. So normally we'd look for group 1, so at, was this going to give me here, so 30. Once group 1 here, which is 10, 20 and 30, once 30 becomes the tested support, which it's checking it now, then once it checks it and takes the top out, then you know that it's leaving that number at that point. So if you wanted to put an order to go long above here, then that's the one to look at this point. I think we already had one over here on that, but if you haven't got one, there's one. But we also mentioned to, you know, get a position at $5. It could still get, you know, a little bit volatile here, but push up. The next level to the upside here, by the way, is 650. That's the medium level here, so just put that in there. And we just give that a different color, the whole color coding trick. Okay, so yeah, I won't need to look at the rest of them. You know, IGO is a long-term hold, and the same as MIN as well. So I won't bother with those. We're running a bit late. Rightio. So what's next after this? We got gold next. So US spot gold. So I'm still looking at it as wave 4 up here, and the same with wave 4 on Newcrest mining. Once we get past these 5 waves here, then we can look to discuss this further. This will be the same, pretty much the same sort of thing that's going on with the S&P 500 and those sorts of markets, and also, you know, not far off the commodities that we've just been looking at, you know, the iron ore and so on, they'll be on this particular pattern here as well. So yeah, up to 1800, probably 1830 for US spot gold. And for Newcrest mining, we're pretty much on track here in terms of the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, nice clean C wave, third wave now. So we need to fluff around with the wave 4 and then wave 5 at this point. Anything above that, this 5-wave structure, then we can be bullish at that point, which will be a little bit tricky because we'd have to take that as 1 and 2 here, and then this is the 3rd wave, 4th wave, 5th wave, then an ABC. So there'll be lots of opportunities to get in and pull back. So we'll be dancing around this here for a while. But yeah, everything said and done, we're still looking for that one more move to the downside. And this is the same with GDX as well. Same. Over to the FX, and for the US dollar here, will be coming lower here. So from wave, well, we're looking at it in 2 ways. We've got, I mean, this is important because the other markets will be, you know, the flip side of this. So we can look at the top here as wave 3 in here, or wave 5 of 1 in here. So, yeah. Anyway, as far as the crow flies, from this top here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here. Then we've got 1, 2, 3 here. So we've got a bit more. We've got a wave 4 to come in here, and then a wave 5 to come in for wave 3, then wave 4, and then wave 5 to come in. So either way, we're going to get this here. And if we look at that on the 2K tick here, I think I might have it there. Yeah. So we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then we've got 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave. I won't go into it too much more than that because I want to have a look at the Aussie dollar, which will be doing much the same to the upside. Now, this move to the upside, we can look at it as a wave 4 of C, pretty much the same as gold and the S&P 500 and so on, in looking at this as a corrective rally. But at some point we may need to look at it as wave 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and to the upside. We're currently long at the moment. Okay, wave 4's just come off now, so there'll be a little bit more to all of this. So start protecting that long trade there, and then another wave 4 and a wave 5. That the next number up here that's really important is 68. Okay, so just understand that. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.